Namaste to all the students. Myself JVN Dr. Khushbu Verma from Faculty of Agriculture and Veterinary Science. Today we will discuss about forces stabilizing structure of protein, and in this session we will discuss about various types of bonds which are involved in the folding process, in the polymerization process of protein. So there are covalent bonds as well as non-covalent bonds are involved in the types of folding and structures of protein. And as I told you, there is two types of a bond involvement in the protein stabilization or folding. So there are covalent bonds, means peptide bond, disulfide bridges will be present, and on the other hand, in the non-covalent bond, there will be van der Waals forces, short-range repulsion, electrostatic bonds, hydrogen bonds, hydrophobic interactions. So, because of covalent and non-covalent bond, you can simply see helical structure, sheet structure, and here is a disulfide bond, which is covalent bond, and this is metal ion coordination. These are the hydrophobic interaction. This is side chain hydrogen bonding. This is electrostatic attraction. So these are arrangements have made by covalent and non-covalent bonding. What are the covalent bonds? So covalent interactions hold atoms together, and molecules within covalent bonds are stronger than molecular interactions. Bonds break during the oxidation of sugar to form carbon dioxide and water, which is a chemical reaction called fire. By contrast, covalent bonds remain intact and unchanged when ice melts, water boils, protein unfolds, RNA unfolds, DNA strand separates, and membrane disassembles. These processes are not chemical reactions, and the process of melting, boiling, unfolding, and strand. Peptide bonds between amino acids can be broken down into individual amino acids by hydrolysis with 6 molar acid or alkali, or by proteases or proteolytic enzymes. Disulfide bridges form between cysteine to form cysteine. Bridges are broken down by reduction with beta mercaptoethanol to form cysteine once again. Now come to the molecular interactions. So molecular interactions are attractive or repulsive forces between molecules and between non-bonded atoms. Molecular interactions are important in diverse field of protein folding, drug designing, material science, sensors, nanotechnology, etc. Molecular interactions are not bonds, and all molecular interactions are fundamentally electrostatic in nature and can be described by some variation of Columbus loop. In biological system, protein folds into globular structure called native states. Ribosomal and transfer RNA also folds into native globular structures, and DNA forms double-stranded helicals. Phospholipids form membranes, and proteins assemble with DNA, RNA membranes and with other proteins. These native states and assemblies are stabilized by molecular interactions of enormous number and complexity. Native states are destabilized by their low conformation entropy. Denatured state: when you unfold a protein or an RNA, or separate two strands of DNA, or disassemble and melt the ribosome, then interior regions become exposed to the surrounding, which are mostly water, pulse, some ions, means they will be hydrophobic in nature, and molecular interaction within the native state or assembly are replaced by molecular interaction with aqueous surroundings. A delicate balance, molecular interactions stabilize both native and denatured state. Native biological macromolecules and assemblies are marginally stable. Biological systems are held in delicate balance between powerful countervailing forces. A small perturbation can tip the balance between the folded and unfolded state. The small change in pH or temperature or a single mutation can unfold a protein. Have you ever denatured a protein? Yes. When you heat an egg to around 60-degree temperature, the albumin protein denature and aggregate. You are not breaking bonds. When you boil an egg, you are changing and rearranging molecule interactions. The aggregated proteins form large assemblies, then scatter light, giving the egg a white color. Now we will discuss about the van der Waals interactions. So molecular interactions are discovered by the Dutch scientist John Diederik van der Waals, and he noticed that molecules are sticky like wet jelly beans, and for our purpose van der Waals interaction is not sufficiently informative or descriptive or specific. And the problem is that some people use van der Waals interactions to describe the totality of molecular interactions, but others use it as it to describe various subsets of molecular interactions. Here we avoid to the term van der Waals interactions because it is not well defined and does not decompose the interaction in a physically meaningful way. Now come to the short range repulsion. So atom take place force two atoms together and they will push back. When two atoms are close together, they occupied orbitals on the atom surface overlap, causing electrostatic repulsion between the surface electrons. This repulsive force between atoms act over a very short range but is very large when distances are short. Short range repulsion is important to you. It prevents your hands from passing through each other when you clap and prevent atoms from collapsing into tightly packed state. In bDNA, the distance between stacked base pairs is 3.5 angstrom as required by short-range repulsion. Base pairs are slightly inclined relative to the helical axis. Base pair normally are not exactly parallel to the helical axis. Therefore, the rise per base pair along the helical axis is slightly less than 3.5 angstrom. Next one is the electrostatic interaction. Electrostatic interactions are between and among cations and anions species with formal charge of -2, -1, +2, +1. Electrostatic interactions can be either attractive or repulsive depending on the sign of the charges. Electrostatic interactions are the primary stabilizing interactions between phosphate oxygens of RNA, and there are many magnesium ions associated with RNA and DNA in vivo. Electrostatic interactions are highly attenuated, or you can say dependent by the water and by protein folding, RNA folding and DNA annealing. Electrostatic interactions are dependent on anionic phosphate oxygens engage in attractive electrostatic interactions with cationic magnesium ions plus 2 charge with it is having, and two phosphate groups can clamp onto magnesium ion, and the and the oxygen to magnesium distance is 2.1 angstrom. The dashed lines represent the favorable electrostatic interactions. Here you can see simply the structure. And next one is the ion pairs in proteins. Favorable electrostatic interactions between pair anionic and cationic amino acid side chains are reasonably frequent in proteins. Ion pairs, sometimes called salt bridges, are formed when the charged group of a cationic amino acid is around 3 to 5 angstrom from the charged group of an anionic amino acid. The charged group in an ion pair are generally linked by hydrogen bonds in addition to electrostatic interaction. This is the structure. Next one is the hydrogen bond. So attraction between hydrogen atoms, which is bonded to electronegative atoms such as FON, and an adjacent electronegative atom. Why hydrogen? Hydrogen is special because it is the only atom that forms covalent sigma bonds with electronegative atoms like N, O, and S, and uses the inner shell 1s electrons in that covalent bond. The most common hydrogen bonds in biological system involve oxygen and nitrogen atoms as A and D, keto groups, imines, and hydroxyl groups are common hydrogen bond acceptors in DNA, RNA, and protein and complex carbohydrates. These are the structures of DNA, protein in antiparallel beta sheet, and in the polysaccharide cellulose you can simply see. Here is hydrogen bond present. An isolated ammonia molecule, just like a water molecule, can form a strong hydrogen bond with either hydrogen bond donor or acceptor. Ammonia is more basic than water, and therefore ammonia is a better hydrogen bond acceptor than water. Next one is the hydrophobic effect. So hydrophobic effect is the insolubility of oil and other non-polar substances in water. If you mix oil and water by vigorous shaking, you will observe spontaneous unmixing, meaning mixing entropy is negative. Hydrocarbons are hydrophobic in nature, and hydrophobic substances are those that are soluble in non-polar solvents. Hydrophobic substances are passive participants in the hydrophobic phenomenon, and interfacial water has low entropy and is therefore unfavorable. Water gains entropy and therefore stability by minimizing the amount of interfacial water. This is why water droplets deform on a hydrophobic surface. Droplets adjust their shape to minimize contact with the hydrophobic surface. Here you can see the hydrophobic interaction live example. Here you can see oil layer is separated with the water solvent, and next one is the counter ion release from nucleic acid. Counter ions are released when a cationic protein binds to the DNA. This release explains the dramatic salt dependencies of DNA protein complexes. High salt destabilizes DNA protein complexes. If the bulk salt concentration is low, the protein binds tightly to the DNA. If the bulk salt concentration is very high, then the protein binds weakly. Counter ion release explain much of the salt dependencies of what DNA matting, RNA folding, and DNA condensation. So this is the sum up of this session, and this session is powered by digital version 2.0 Jyoti Vidyapeeth Women's University Jaipur. If you have any query, then mention in the comment box. I will resolve it. Thank you.